Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive? You sent in some awesome NASA articles about the universe, and, well, it seems like you're ready to go way beyond just, Earth is small, space is big.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I get that.
So let's get into it. We're going to tackle the vastness of the universe today and hopefully have some aha moments along the way.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so one thing that really blew my mind from these articles was how Earth is actually pretty new to the whole universe thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only been around for like a third of the universe's lifespan.
That's like walking into a movie that's already halfway through.
Yeah.
What even happened before we got here?
Yeah.
And what's going to happen next?
Right. And speaking of what's next, these articles mentioned how our sun, it's eventually going to engulf Earth.
Oh, wow.
Billions of years from now, but still. Kind of makes you think, huh,
It really does put things in perspective.
like maybe traffic isn't such a big deal after all.
Exactly. And, it's not necessarily a bad thing in the grand scheme of things.
What do you mean?
Well, stars have these life cycles, right? So when our sun, reaches the end of its life, it could actually help create new star systems, new planets, maybe even new life.
Oh, wow.
It's all about these incredible cycles of creation and destruction.
That's kind of a beautiful way to think about it.
It is.
Okay, moving on to something else that's pretty mind-blowing, the expanding universe. And it's not just expanding, it's actually like speeding up.
Yeah, that acceleration, that's one of the biggest mysteries in astrophysics right now.
Really?
We think it's because of something called dark energy.
Dark energy.
But honestly, we don't really know what dark energy is.
So it's like we're missing a huge piece of the puzzle.
Exactly. It's like, imagine a loaf of raisin bread baking, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm following.
So as the bread rises, the raisins, which are like galaxies, they move further apart.
That's the expanding universe.
Right. But what we're seeing is like the oven is suddenly getting hotter, so the bread expands even faster.
Whoa, that's a good analogy.
That's dark energy. But we have no idea where this extra heat is coming from.
That's wild. Okay, but if everything is being pushed apart, how do galaxies even form in the first place?
Great question. And that leads us to gravity, dark matter, and how all these forces interact.
Okay, hold on. Let's back up a sec.
Sure.
These articles also mention the Big Bang, and I think most people picture it as this, like, massive explosion in space.
Right. That's a common misconception.
It wasn't really an explosion.
Not in the way we usually think of it.
Okay, so what was it?
It was the beginning of space A&D time.
Whoa, hold on. How is that even possible?
It's hard to wrap your head around, but picture this. A tiny point, super dense, with everything that will become the universe packed inside.
Okay.
Then suddenly, it starts expanding.
Outward.
Not outward into space,
Yeah.
but space itself stretching. So there was no before the Big Bang because time itself started right then.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is.
But here's something even crazier from the articles. Just last Saturday, the universe was smaller than it is today.
Isn't that incredible? Everything we see in the night sky, all those galaxies, were closer together just a few days ago. And even closer last year, 1,000,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And so on. The universe has been expanding this whole time.
Whoa.
It's a constant process.
Mind officially blown.
Mine too.
Speaking of things we can and can't see, one article said that all those stars and planets, all the stuff we can observe, is actually less than 5% of what's actually out there.
You got it. We're basically surrounded by stuff we can't even see.
So what is all this stuff?
Well, about 27% of it is this mysterious thing called dark matter.
Dark matter.
We know it's there because of its gravity, but we have no clue what it actually is.
Oh, okay.
And then there's dark energy, making up a whopping 68% of the universe.
Well, that's what's behind the whole expanding thing we were talking about.
Exactly.
So most of the universe is a total mystery. That's kind of scary, but also really cool.
I know, right? It's like we're living a giant cosmic detective story, trying to figure out all the clues.
Who knows what we'll discover?
Exactly. Maybe there are things out there we can't even imagine yet.
Okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, the articles also mention how our understanding of the universe is, always changing.
Oh, absolutely.
Like for most of human history, we relied on stories and myths to explain the cosmos.
Right, until science came along and changed everything.
It wasn't even that long ago that we didn't know about other galaxies.
Yeah, just about a century ago.
Crazy, right? A whole galaxy outside our own. And then think about it. In just past few decades, we've found exoplanets orbiting other stars, taken a picture of a black hole, and even observed these things called gravitational waves.
It's amazing how fast our knowledge is growing.
We're literally living in a golden age of discovery.
It really is an exciting time.
So if we've learned this much in such a short time, imagine what we'll know in the future.
The possibilities are endless. It makes you wonder what's still out there, just waiting to be discovered.
It's incredible to think about.
It really is. And it makes you wonder about our place in all of this, doesn't it?
It does. Maybe we should take a break here and come back to that thought later.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, it's crazy how much our understanding of, like, space can change in such a short time.
I know, right? It really shows how science is always, like, evolving.
Definitely. It's all about pushing the boundaries of what we know and, constantly refining our understanding.
And it's not just about, like, facts and figures and stuff.
Oh, sure.
It's also about, like, that sense of awe you get when you think about it all, you know?
Absolutely. It's about feeling connected to something much, much bigger than ourselves.
Exactly.
Sometimes when we talk about how vast the universe is and all those like mind-boggling timescales, it's easy to feel kind of insignificant, right?
Yeah, I get that.
But I actually think it's the opposite.
Really? Why?
Well, think about it. Every single atom in our bodies, it was created in a star.
Whoa, seriously?
We're literally made of stardust. And those stars, they came from even older stars, all the way back to the Big Bang.
So it's like this like chain that connects us to the very beginning of everything.
Exactly. It's a continuous cycle of creation.
That's incredible. So instead of feeling small, we should actually feel like we're part of this huge, amazing story.
Exactly. We're not just watching the universe, we're a part of it.
That's a really cool way to look at it.
It is. And like we were talking about before, our understanding of that story is always changing.
It's true. It's like if you could go back in time and tell someone like a few centuries ago about dark matter or black holes.
They'd probably think you were nuts.
Totally. I mean, even just 100 years ago, the idea of having an image of a black hole, that would have sounded like science fiction.
I know. But here we are.
It makes you wonder what we'll discover next, you know? What kind of mind-blowing stuff future generations will know about the universe that we can't even imagine yet.
It's so exciting to think about. New telescopes, new technologies. Who knows what mysteries we'll solve?
Maybe we'll finally figure out what dark matter and dark energy really are.
Maybe. Or maybe we'll find proof of life on other planets.
Or something even crazier that we haven't even thought of yet.
The possibilities are endless.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the universe, what are like the key takeaways you hope our listener will like walk away with?
Well, first and foremost, I hope they'll have a much deeper appreciation for how awesome and mind-blowingly huge the cosmos is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a truly humbling experience to just think about, like, the vastness of space and time.
Absolutely. And like it's important to remember that we're always learning new things about the universe.
Right. What we think is true today, it could be completely different tomorrow.
And that's what makes science so cool.
Totally. It's all about the journey of discovery.
And it's a journey that everyone can be a part of, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Whether you're like a professional astronomer or just someone who's curious about space, there's always something new to learn.
You got it. All you need is that sense of wonder and a willingness to explore.
Well said. All right, I think that's a good place to stop for now.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's just mind-blowing how much we've learned in like such a short time.
It really is.
And like you said, there's still so much more out there waiting to be discovered.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It really makes you appreciate like human curiosity, you know? That drive to explore and ask questions.
It really does, doesn't it? It's like that's what pushes us forward, Helps us figure out our place in all of this.
It's funny when you really start thinking about these like cosmic scales, it puts things in perspective.
Definitely.
Our everyday problems, they seem so small.
I know what you mean.
Like, yeah, I got to get to work and pay my bills, but also the universe is expanding.
Exactly. It's like realizing you've been focused on one tiny grain of sand and completely missed the whole beach.
Right. And that beach, it's like incredibly beautiful and full of mystery.
It really is.
From like how stars are born to like galaxies colliding, the universe is doing all this crazy stuff.
And we're just starting to understand it.
It's humbling, but also really exciting.
Totally. Who knows what we'll find out in the future, right?
I know. What secrets are still out there?
What will future generations know that we don't?
It's like we're standing at the edge of a giant, uncharted ocean, ready to set sail.
What an adventure. Full of challenges, but so many rewards.
Imagine discovering something totally new, something that changes everything we thought we knew about the universe.
It'd be amazing.
Makes you kind of wish we could just, like, hop on a spaceship and explore it all firsthand.
Uh-huh. I know, right?
But even if we can't physically travel to other galaxies, we can still explore them,
How do you mean?
through our imagination, through learning and asking questions.
You're right. The universe is like this endless source of fascination. The more we learn, the more we realize we don't know.
That's pretty awesome when you think about it.
It really is.
Okay, well, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive.
Already.
But before we go, I want to leave everyone with one final thought.
I'm all ears.
We are all part of this incredible cosmic story, Every atom in our bodies came from a star.
We are stardust.
And we're connected to everything in the universe in ways we might never fully understand.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
So keep exploring, keep wondering, keep asking questions because the universe is full of mysteries just waiting to be uncovered. Until next time, keep looking up and exploring the wonders of the cosmos.
Farewell, everyone, and
Okay.
never lose that curiosity.